Hi, we're at the Mount Zion Community House located at 4005 South Baldwin, Orion 48359. This is a community service video to show you what will take place tomorrow when you're here. You'll be on your honor system to both arrive and leave and get the work done within the prescribed amount of time, which we understand is about 4 hours. So moving forward, now that you know where the tools are located in the back of the building, we're going to take you around the mulch bed. So what needs to happen is you'll notice that we've begun to remove some plants here, and along the curb this needs to be basically cleaned up. And so you'll notice here along the edges with the flat blade shovel, you'll need to go around and kind of make that nice and tight as a line, scoop that debris back up into the mulch bed and clean it up. Around the curb here, all this needs to be swept out. So with the wheelbarrow and the flat shovel and the broom, you can go around the curb edges and basically clean these and tighten these areas up. You can see the mulch bed there needs to be raked with the rake, smoothed out, and the debris that you can see that's overlapping on the sidewalk, that all needs to be put back into the mulch blade with a flat blade shovel and then swept to look nice and clean. So overall, you're tightening up these sidewalk and curb areas here in the parking lot. We're going to move around to the front of the building now, where you can see some other areas that need to be done. Good case in point here is on the bottom of the steps here by this emergency entrance. In this mulch bed here on the front corner, you'll notice some large chunks of debris, rocks and stones. Those need to be pulled out, just the large things that just look obviously like they should not be there. And then this area here on the curb, all this needs to be swept up and cleaned. So that's what the wheelbarrow is for. You can put all your debris in that and then find a place in the backwoods when we're done and dump that off. You can see the curb here. It has mulch spilling over onto the curb. That needs to be shoveled and swept back into its area. Again, with the parking lot edge swept up and cleaned really nice here in the front of the building. And this really goes all the way along the front and will wrap around to the edge. We'll call this the flower box. This area needs to be raked out, and well, raked out as in nothing removed other than big pieces of debris that are obvious not to be there. So the difference between the rock on the left, which could stay, and the concrete chunk on the right, which should be removed. And then this area raked out smooth so that it looks good, and those two stones need to be swept so that there's no longer any dirt or rocks on top of them. So you kind of get the gist of where we're going. You'll go all along the entire building perimeter and clean things up. You can see the front sidewalk here has debris in this area. Some areas are heavier and some are not. You can see in this area here there's some grass chunks left from landscaping. There's rocks and debris on the parking lot here in the front. So overall, this area needs to be swept up and cleaned. You can see, especially on the back curve of the sidewalk, there's a lot of grass debris, again from mowing, that needs to be swept up. Coming on down and around to the side of the building here. This back porch entrance looks decent, but then there's areas where there's rocks and debris that need to be swept up. Kind of these areas with a flat shovel scooped back into their mulch bed, swept. You can see where rain has caused some of the mulch to spill out. We'll just get that back into the mulch bed. And so on. Just give this a good perimeter clean. This is along the back side of the building. And we're almost to the completion of the circuit. You can see this back mulch bed here needs some TLC. Use your shovel to dig out and pull the weeds that are possible. Clean it up nice and tight. And then along this curb here, sweep out any chunks like that that are obvious. Sweep the curb here and get all this debris from the shrub trimming and remove that. You can see these areas towards the base of the shrubs on both sides would need to be cleaned out. So that's the project for tomorrow. Good luck. If you have any questions, just contact Eddie Villegas directly, and we'll go from there. Thank you so much.